Assalamu alaikum, Reverend Nabil. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum assalam.
Alhamdulillah. So, your story and myself. So, the reason I'm making these videos is, I've made that original video with Stefan, and it doesn't seem to be dying down. And I've made clear on the video, I don't actually say it's jinn or it's magic. I just normally say this is the power of dua, as in the power of Quran. You recite, and it could help people, and it, alhamdulillah, people have reactions, and that's what we should limit it to. But as for jumping to conclusions of jinn and magic, that's a next level diagnosis. Like, unless you've got the ability to see the unseen or something like that, I've always been kind of like against those kind of comments.
It is correct. Since obviously I met and we started looking things slightly outside the box, I mean, practically.
So just before that, today's like 2022.
That's right.
So you met me at a Ruqyah seminar, I do believe, was it?
Yes, we attended Ruqyah seminar at least 3 or 4 years back.
Yeah.
Maybe it's longer than that, probably. Yes, it may be longer than that.
Yes, 5 years now.
Yes, we've attended the seminar, and I've looked into things, listened to it, and what triggered it, that this one specific case, I know it for well longer than that. Mm-hmm. The gentleman traveled up and down the country,
yes,
meet different people.
Yes.
He was again, like everybody says, he's got a jinn, having an issues, and we've seen the brother flip around and things like that. Mm-hmm. And obviously, after attending your seminar, my main aim was to help the brother.
Yes.
This brother's been to Middle East, he's been to in Pakistan, but the problem seems to be still there.
Yes. Has he been to Raaqis in this country?
Loads.
Okay.
I mean, so much so that he actually paid over 150 to 200 pounds for a 10-minute service.
Right. Okay.
And
classic.
These guys who's claim to be the biggest.
Yes.
The brother was exactly there, Ruqyah, honey, and all sorts of stuff, you name it.
So you done all the, you get these Ruqyah programs that I normally take the mick out of, the 7-day one, the 10-day one.
He's done loads of them, so much so that I remember very well that he was almost looking the part of like taking his life, because
a suicide.
He was keep on being told,
yes,
that you've got something.
You've got a jinn.
And when we look something outside the box, where it means like, okay, everyone's saying is this, let's more look into it.
Yes.
Fast forward, what got our attention, that I think if you remember, the brothers start flipping without we've done wudu, and without we've read a Quran on him.
Yes.
And he was flipping exactly like that. And
yes,
that was a bit of a trigger point where Raaqis says you have to be in the wudu, because the jinn attacks you, your family, and then this brother's like, we didn't do any wuzu or anything,
yes,
and this brother's been flipping around.
Yes.
Fast forward, we realized it's maybe something else in there, so we started looking not just the medical side, but the psychological side, but a history of it.
So you see, many people, they get upset with myself,
yes,
because they've been told by so many Raaqis, it's a jinn, it's a jinn, it's a jinn, it's a jinn. And then when I say, well, hold on, let's do blood tests,
yes,
let's do some other tests, and say, oh no, we've had blood tests from the doctor and
yes,
this and that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are right, because what's happened is, I don't know if you remember, you mentioned the first time that find the trigger points, and now
yes,
the trigger points were moving, the different noises the brother's giving. But
yes,
what happened is, that which was quite unusual, that the brother, without doing a Ruqyah, or rather prepare him in the state of Ruqyah,
yes,
we've heard him giving those noises.
Switch to jinn mode, basically what Raaqis would say, oh, that's
yes,
the jinn. Yes.
And then he switches it. So
yes,
that was a bit a trigger point, that now there's no Ruqyah environment,
yes,
no Ruqyah's happening,
right,
and the different noise came. So I remember I give you a call, I've explained, you give all the details. Then we started paying attention to his behavior, and it's hard to know exactly what was happening in his early years of his age, but we definitely discovered that he's developed another personality,
yes,
way before he was being told that he had an issue.
right,
So that was his way to cover him up.
Yes.
And then I saw, and this is a real thing, after obviously met you, I actually saw, I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was a female character. Again, it's a Hollywood movie.
Yes.
But that gave us an idea, not from the movie, but rather than that this one woman had 3 to 4 different characters, a man and a woman and things.
Yes.
And with this specific client, changing the personality was a trigger point, because we've seen that.
Yes.
But because we've always given, people always given, even including the brothers being to Middle East, including he's been to the house of Allah, he's got treated there.
Yes.
And he obviously, as an Iman, he didn't want to admit it, but when we say Ruqyah in the name of the Quran,
yes,
we're really jeopardizing our book, because it wasn't doing anything for him.
Absolutely, yes.
And we realize he's got another personality there, and when we explained him, we've strengthened him.
Yes.
For some reason, last 2 years, that jinn's disappeared. Just because simply to taught him. Nothing has changed in his life, in a sense that he's still doing day-to-day routine what he was doing before.
Yes.
Apart from his mindset.
Yes.
So he didn't visit any Raaqi, but there's no episode of it.
Absolutely.
There's no flipping about it during the Salah, after the Salah.
Yes.
So I think the Raaqis drilled into him so much that you got something with him, but there was actually nothing.
Yeah. So it's very important. This is called in psychology the power of suggestion. So a person, they may flip or split personality, and the Raaqi, that split personality, Raaqis 99% will say that's a jinn, but there's no evidence of anything paranormal.
That's
you see what I mean?
That's
like
correct.
I said to you, or we tested, I said to you that, look, if it's a jinn, well, ask it to pick up something very heavy, for example. Okay. That's beyond human limit.
That's right.
Not heavy as in it's just heavy, because people under the state of Ruqyah or these kind of stresses, their adrenaline kicks in and they can pick up heavy objects.
That's correct.
Right.
That's correct.
But they can't pick up something, for example, 1 ton, because the humans can only live up, the maximum at the minute was it almost 500 kg, the world's strongest man.
Okay.
So 1,000, no can do, and no human has done that. Okay, 1,000 kg. Or
this one case has given me a lot of eye open, and then I start looking into it. And there's another time the brother came, and he was being basically before I tell what he was going through. So this is how he approached me.
Yes.
He goes, brother, I'm looking for a Ruqyah, and somebody did something, and it is on me, it is on my family, and we had a hisab, this is paperwork and everything, and that's being done on us. Now this is being said by somebody, and the brother literally believed on the face value.
That's right.
And with being so much depressed that he's actually started seeing and believing things.
Yes, absolutely.
And I had a 1-hour consultation with the brother, simply by changing the mind, without denying there's no such thing.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that the brother has changed entire prospect of it.
Absolutely, yes.
Because he also started admitting, well, how silly I was.
Yes.
Again, I came across is stress can cause that. And while we are talking, I would like to share one of my clients, and until this date, I use that.
Yes.
The jinn of exam, I give the name. That is my client. He's approached me, and he clearly goes to me that I get this epilepsy attacks.
Okay.
He's a very beautiful young gentleman in the prime mid-20s, and he goes, I get epilepsy attacks. There's no medical history of it, and my grandma thinks that I've got a jinn on me.
Yes.
So interesting. I was, okay, your grandma thinks, okay, no problem.
Absolutely.
Been to any Raaqis, he has seen some people over the internet,
Yes.
and over the phone they diagnosed him, you've got a problem.
Yes, it's normally the jinn catchers.
And he couldn't travel at that time, so he decided to come to see me again for hijama and Ruqyah, where I wanted to look at Islamic medication.
That's right.
So I let him go with one homework. I would like you to let me know every time you get those attacks
Yes.
from the jinn or whatever you get.
Yes.
So he came back in 3 months, 4 months time,
Okay.
that it only happened once.
Yes.
Okay, I says that's fine, no problem.
Jinn kind of like getting weaker or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't do any ruqyah or anything,
Yeah.
but he thought maybe because he had a hijama,
Yes.
which was a bit funny, but
Mhm.
yeah. So this time I says, I'm not going to do hijama on you.
Yes.
So let you go.
Yes.
We've had a chat, don't worry about it. Come back and let me know.
Yes.
This time he came back a lot more earlier. He was a little bit stressed and he had 2
Anxious.
episodes of it.
Right. Yes.
So I says, okay, no problem. So I gave him a couple of standard ruqyah
Yes.
dua. You read yourself,
Mhm.
perfect yourself, and let me know.
Mhm.
Now I didn't see the brother.
Okay,
Completely
yes.
disappeared.
Right.
So I rang him, like you can say maybe 5-7 months, completely gone.
Yes.
So I got in touch with him, and what's happening? I mean, it just came in my mind after blue. That this is the brother goes. Brother goes, to be honest, it's been 5-6-7 months, nothing happened. So I says, what happened? You were counting.
Yes.
What's happened? So he goes, I am sure every time my uni exam or assignment comes,
Yes.
this jinn out of blue comes somewhere.
Yes.
So I busted out laughing.
Yes.
That was basically the stress, the severe stress
Yes.
was getting him these attacks.
That's right.
And upon general examining, without mentioning the ruqyah, I
Yes.
spoke to one of the doctor, good friend of mine,
Yes.
and he goes, there is an issue where when people get severe stressed,
Yes.
the body shows a different reaction.
That's right.
Which includes some people basically goes completely unconscious.
That's right.
Like it's a body's mechanism. Some shakes.
Yes.
Some people really get some bad shakes. Some sweats heavily.
Yes. You see, the first level of it is usually like stress or emotional overload is
Yeah.
an anxiety attack,
Yes.
and people think that's the peak.
Yes.
Oh, this is the maximum that if you're stressed or you get an anxiety attack, this is the severest thing that can happen. But actually, no, this is the first level of it. In fact, people can faint. People
Yes.
can have fits.
That's
okay,
right.
all because of the anxiety.
That's
and,
right.
This is what happens. Yeah.
Again, a good brother of mine. I mean, all these cases, I've never paid attention
Yes.
before I met you. And
Yes.
I have to be honest, there's a massive credit to, rather than denying, but rather than you've empowered me to start looking things slightly different way,
Yes.
that it could be a possibility. So
That's right.
this brother, his engagement broke.
Yes.
He ended up in a hospital. So every single test happened.
On his engagement.
His engagement broke just
Right,
closer to the
okay,
time.
right.
Engagement broke
Yes.
down.
Mhm.
His mum ended up ringing me,
Yes.
and the brother ended up in a hospital. They've done all the tests, and nothing came.
Yes.
And I personally have some kind of phobia as well, and I
Yes.
realize a fear or a phobia won't come on the tests.
Yes.
The second they see nothing is on the test,
Yes.
oh, it's a jinn case.
That's right.
It's a straight away jump to the like, oh, it's a jinn case.
That's right.
Fast forward, because the brother has moved in his life and he's married again and everything,
Yes.
that jinn never appeared, only apart from one occasion.
Absolutely. Yes.
And a bit of strange things, but when I say strange, for me it's no longer, because the incidents makes them a lot more different. The people, the trauma they're going through,
Yes.
how they're reacting it.
Yes.
Based on my work, I came across one of the senior barrister in the country,
Yes.
and migraine attack literally
Right.
knocked her. And her statement, what caught me on my job,
Mhm.
she wasn't talking to me, she was talking to somebody else,
Mhm.
and she goes, I had to stay home, so the trial had to stop. This is,
Right.
we're talking about 2019 or just before the COVID lockdown area
Yes.
time. And the trial, that specific trial has to stop
Mhm.
because she couldn't attend 2 days.
Right.
GP gave her some strong, the migraine tablets.
Yes.
And this is her statement, and she goes, I actually wanted to stab someone.
Right.
And she realized this is wrong.
Yes.
She got back to the GP, and GP laughed out, oh, I was meant to tell you, you would have get some illusions.
Yes. Hallucinations. Yes.
I will change your medication.
Mhm.
Now, if this was me or anybody else,
Yeah.
we would have said, oh, there was a jinn
Well, that's right.
showing
Yes.
things, or she's seeing
Yes.
things in the middle of the day.
Yes.
So you see these couple of things as really that make us think that if someone tells me, oh brother, you had a magic done on you,
Yes.
I think that's a massive setback,
It
big
is.
time.
It is.
Even if it is, because what I came across is when you tell a stressed person everything will be fine,
Yes.
he'll get 90% strength, he'll stand.
That's right. Yes.
But if somebody's poorly and you say, I'm so sorry you're going to die,
Yes.
he's going to die way before he's going to die.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think the mind power plays a huge role rather than
Absolutely.
everything is jinn.
Yeah. And this is something key, okay, that I would say the Raaqis need to stop, right?
Definitely.
I'm very, very kind of like, I take the mick out of them, as you've seen in many videos of mine, and I make no apologies for that, because they absolutely deserve it. Because they're making this sound as a battle between, almost like Christianity, you know, between
Yes.
God and between Allah Azza wa Jal and the shaitan. And any little thing you do, brother, shaitan's going to get you, shaitan's
Yes.
going to do this. And
Yes.
if you go out late at night, not even late, Maghrib, according to
That's
them,
correct.
shaitan's going to get you. You don't say dua, go in the toilet, shaitan's going to get you.
That is correct.
And all this kind of stuff. Yeah, we would say to them, well, let's test some of your theories. Like,
That's right.
you know, I stopped at a service station coming to visit you, and at the service station there's a public toilet. And not only is there a public toilet, there's music playing in the toilet as well.
Okay.
So every single person going in there, coming out of there, Mr. Raaqis should be possessed according to you. Do you
Okay,
see what
yes,
I mean?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's the most ridiculous kind of statements that they make.
Yes.
But, you know, and the reason I've called this channel a Tawheed project is we need to go back to Tawheed. Okay.
That is correct.
When we go back to Tawheed and we look at, for example, there was no Quran at the time of the Prophet ﷺ apart from after Revelation, like
That's
before
right.
Revelation.
That's
right?
correct.
So the Prophet ﷺ was in Mecca for 40 years before Revelation.
Yes.
What did people do then for jinn and magic?
That's
Like,
right.
people were just having
The history
fits
doesn't
and
quote any incidents. Yes.
nothing at all. And did people recite the Torah or the Injil?
Okay. Yes.
You know, and there's
Yeah,
nothing
it's
recorded.
a valid point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to share this. This is important because
Yes.
what happened is when I started looking things differently, and
Yes.
I actually looked into it because may Allah keep us steadfast and keep us guiding us.
Yes.
What struck me personally was, even though very beginning stage of being a
Yes.
student of knowledge, being looking things that there is like a bab of salah, there's a bab of zakah, and there's a lot of things, and
That's
you know, end of the times and things.
Yes.
Ilm al-ghaib, and why there's no bab of the
Possession.
jinn possession,
That's right. Yeah.
or how to deal while you're possessed,
Yes.
or how to treat that person
Yes.
when he's in the state of
Yes.
possession.
Yes.
And
So
couple
this
of
is a key point. Literally, there's nothing in any of the authentics. And I
hadiths, that
mentioned
is
to you,
correct. Yes,
like-
all the 6 major hadiths. How come they
No,
they
no.
even got the bab of dealing with the people?
yes. So, for example, Bukhari, rahimullah, he's got the bab of how to sleep.
That's
how
correct.
how to eat. So he's got mundane things.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
he's got nothing.
Yeah, even
about
what's
jinn
the
possession.
our fitra, you know,
Yes.
like a mustache and armpits
That's
and things.
right. Yes.
So much specifically mentioned the traits and everything.
Yes.
And we are claiming an ilm al-ghaib
Yes.
and using our book and claiming that we're using our sunnah
Yes.
to help this brother and sister,
Yes.
while we actually authentically cannot quote
Anything.
the methodology. And not just that, it's quite struck me is that because of my background from the Middle East,
Yes.
no Islamic court of the law has ever punished
Yes.
or let some murderer go
Yes.
because you were in the possession of the jinn and you murdered somebody.
That's right. Or under the influence of magic. You say Middle East. Which country, Sheikh?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, the land of Tawheed.
So they got the Islamic court.
That's right.
So can you imagine you stand in front of the Qadi and you
Yes,
turn
yes.
around and goes, I was possessed,
Yes.
or there was a sihr.
And it's a key thing to note, like before now MBS's time, but we're talking many years ago, okay, that Saudi Arabia is one of the main promoters of this jinn stuff. Okay?
Yes.
And the shuyukh, they'll promote it, they'll, you know, say to people, yes, it happens and all this kind
Yes.
of stuff. Yet you say, yeah, in court, it doesn't exist.
Yes, it doesn't. I've never heard that anybody either let off or
Yes.
or he's been arrested just
Yes.
because in the possession of the jinn,
That's right.
he's actually killed somebody.
Yes.
So again, we are not denying the waswas,
Yes.
which me, you, everybody gets it.
Yes.
And we do get it.
Yes.
And again, on the day of judgment, like the shaitan says, is I was only whispering.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
So what
Not
also
possession.
struck me is, I could be wrong, correct me if I am, when the Prophet mentioned that like the pen is lifted from the person who's
Yes.
sleeping,
Yes.
who's not like a baligh, and
Yes.
the third one is a majnoon, insane.
Yes.
Now, I've got a strong faith. Has it been the jinn possession? That means
Yes.
we are claiming
Yes.
that this with the sihr, jinn has possessed me and I am not in my control,
Yes.
or my mind, or a part of my mind, I'm not in my control.
Yes.
That means if I do that activity while I'm not in my control, may Allah have send peace and blessings on our Prophet. He's forgot to tell us.
Yes.
Tell us that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So these couple of things is really, and again, let's come back to the tawhid. What you mentioned. This is my personal experience. That's physically happened to me. Every time I used to get the call, the brothers coming for Ruqyah and hijama,
Yes.
I used to call and specifically make
Yes.
sure my maghrib adhkars there,
Yes.
and I'm in a wudu,
Right.
and I treated the brother.
Yes.
But then, when I start looking morely,
Yes.
I'm not saying that I've stopped doing my adhkar, but what I'm saying is I came across is as someone who's claimed to be the magician,
Yes.
who deal with the dirt,
Filthy things. And
filthy things.
Yes.
How can he empower someone who remember Allah?
Yes.
That was one thing.
That's right.
And how weak as a Muslim we have become,
Yes.
that we are scared to walk under the tree on the evening, because
Yes.
a lot of Raaqis
Yes,
research
exactly,
states that jinnat stays on the
Yes,
tree.
please, yes.
You step out of your home without the dhikr of Allah,
Yes.
you're gonna get possessed.
That's right.
You're in your home and you have not done your adhkar,
Yes.
and you're gonna get possessed. So you see, that psychological fear,
Yes.
and
They only increase it.
yes, it
Okay.
does 100%, and it has changed me. Like, my
And
fear
it's
is gone.
really funny, right? Because Allah says, and do not fear shaitan, but fear me. Yet the Raaqis are there promoting the fear of
Indeed,
shaitan.
it happened.
Okay?
It happened within all the
Yes.
home.
Yes.
Okay, we had a screens just by over the phone call.
Yes.
It was a blank phone calls,
Yes.
and just because these Raaqis made the
Yeah.
big deal of it,
Yes.
there was a screens within the home.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, by then I was a lot more steadfast upon the believing of this concept, Raaqis, hair and things.
Yes.
What I came across is, if someone have a power,
Yes.
this is just one of the theory I like to
Yes.
use it. If someone's got that much power,
Yes.
and we've seen from the celebrities and athletes worldwide,
Yes.
they would enrich themselves. I've
Absolutely.
seen that.
Yes.
Fame comes, money comes, they need houses, cars, women,
That's
and
right.
everything.
Yes.
For some reason, by claiming such a big power of all these sahir,
Yes.
they still love to stay in the filth. And
Yes.
that was like a cut-off point for me. I
Yes,
goes, do you know
absolutely.
what?
Yes.
The haqq is clear.
Absolutely.
Without a shadow of the doubt. The batil is clear,
Yes.
which we claiming it is indeed.
Yes.
Tawheed is there.
Yes.
And I'm ashamed. Can you imagine if Sahaba come back in this time?
Yes.
They're going to laugh at us that we petrified from the kafir,
Yes.
where even our Prophet says is the mu'min is like a heavy on the kafir.
That's right. Yes.
And over here, our Muslim brothers, Raaqis,
Yes.
instead of empowering us, they're making us scared of them.
Okay. So I'll go back to this, because remember I said this goes back to the source of Tawheed. Now, if we go before the Quran, like I mentioned to you, that there was no Quran, okay, but Tawheed still existed.
That's right,
Okay.
oneness of Allah.
Yes. So what about before Injil? Okay. So we could say, okay, what about before Torah? Okay. So now we end up with Ibrahim alayhi salam.
Okay.
Now there's no book.
Okay.
Okay. So what? Jinns just possess people, and there's no solution. Okay, and shaitan can come to see the Ibrahim alayhi salam's example. Allah tells us in the Quran to look at it again and again, because he's the founder of tawhid for us, so the founder of our nation. Okay, so Ibrahim alayhi salam, he sees an apparition of shaitan, okay, in front of himself, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Yet is he told to recite the whole of Surah Baqarah, which the Raaqis would have you recite and still say this is not enough. Okay?
That's correct.
The whole of the Surah this and Surah that. No, what was it? Bismillah, Allahu Akbar at the Jamarat, and we do this till today.
That's correct, in the Hajj.
Absolutely. Shouldn't we be going in front of the Jamarat and reciting this surah, make sure you're in wudu, make sure you don't do anything crazy, make sure this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen? No, because Allah told us this is how weak shaitan is. All he needs is Bismillah, Allahu Akbar.
And that's sufficient for yes,
which
yes,
is sufficient for shaitan.
Yeah.
Yet these Raaqis would have you believe the whole of the Quran. A person, I mean, I know people, they're giving these crazy Ruqyah programs. Get out, do this, do that, recite this,
That's
recite
right.
that.
That's
Yeah.
right. And even if they don't achieve, and
Yes.
as soon the person goes, I couldn't do this, the Raaqi will say, oh, it's a fault in your
Yeah.
Ruqyah program, like you didn't
Yes.
follow it.
Yes.
You didn't follow the program. Yeah.
You're weak, and they end up blaming the patient.
That's correct.
You know,
It's happened. It's
yes.
happened. I've seen it.
Yes.
I met the people, and I can say on the first hand.
Yes.
They goes, oh, you couldn't do this. You couldn't stay up on that one.
Yes.
You need to up your game. So you're actually telling me, as a patient who's
Yes.
just struggling to move and walk,
Yes.
how can I do all that?
Exactly, yes.
Because Maqtadeeb is really is not
Yes.
doing the job.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's-
And the second question that comes, that a lot of my patients, it starts putting doubts in their mind about the Quran.
That's correct.
Because
Happen.
how can shaitan be so strong that you've recited this surah, that surah, that surah, and shaitan's still there?
That's right.
And we know, listen, mate, this is what I said, this is our challenge to these Iraqis. Bring your hardest jinn case, your hardest magical case, watch us. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar is sufficient. And we are not scared of them at all. And you need to stop putting this fear into people's minds. And
Alhamdulillah.
until you don't, I'll just continue taking the mick out of you.
To be honest, knowledge is power, and I
Yes.
came across this. I spoke to one of the brother, and he
Yes.
was in the medicine.
Yes,
After a long discussion,
yes,
I'm not saying that he changed his mind, but he does agreed that the a lot of medication, including some of the drugs,
yes,
does make what purpose for me to bring this is.
Yes.
I'm not saying that the individual who has got a
Yes.
problem
Mhm.
is basically he's taking a medication on drugs.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is a medication, if it messes the brain, that
Yes.
means the stress, any trouble, any trauma, any history, or anything, if it messes the brain,
yes,
it does make us seeing things or believing things.
absolutely.
I never knew.
Yes,
Sleep apnea is a good example I use. I always say this: if you pick up the symptom of sleep apnea
Yes.
and quietly visit any Iraqi,
yes,
1 billion% is going to diagnose you with the jinn sitting on your chest,
absolutely, yes.
because sleep apnea person gives absolute indication.
Yes.
But what triggered me is, now let's say a non-Muslim having a sleep
I think
apnea.
It's not just sleep apnea, I think it's sleep paralysis.
Yeah, sorry,
So it's sleep
sorry,
paralysis.
apologize.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you are right.
Yes.
So he's awake, he's in a state, or she, they hearing, they see,
Yes,
but they can't move, and
That's
they
right.
they speak about this pressure on the chest.
that's right, yes.
And wallahi, I've actually physically met that Raaqi,
Yes,
that the jinn was squeezing the chest was his
Yes.
answer.
yes.
I met that Raaqi.
I know, I know.
That was
And
his
they say
answer.
this, yes, it's unbelievable.